Welcome to Tater Time Football, where we talk about everything around football. Here's your host, Tater Tot. Hey guys, welcome to Tater Time Football. This is another week of bowl games. This is going to cover the December 29th through January the 2nd. So let's get into these picks real quick. All right. Now you got Monday, December 29th. Georgia Southern versus Appalachian State.
I'm gonna go with Georgia Southern on this one.
I'm actually gonna go with Georgia Southern here. This isn't the same Appalachian State that we had last year, so I really feel Georgia Southern has the upper hand in this game. And what are they favored by, Cole? Did I say
7.5.
Okay. Will you read that off every time we get
Sure.
to one? Thank you, man. All right, now you got Coastal Carolina versus Louisiana Tech. And this is going to be December 30th.
I'm gonna pick Louisiana Tech, and they are favored by 9.5.
Coastal Carolina is not the same team they were last year. Like, they had a really good run last year, but this year it just hasn't panned out like they would probably want it to.
Well,
So I'm
for
gonna
what
go
I've seen, a lot of the
Louisiana
lower
Tech.
teams are they're being poached more by the transfer portal and all that.
Yeah.
So they have a good year. It's like, well, they're really talented, so then they immediately get transferred out to somewhere like Virginia Tech or something like that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go Louisiana Tech here. Okay, we got an SEC with a Big Ten team. I got Tennessee versus Illinois in Nissan Stadium, Nashville, Tennessee. Almost a home game for Tennessee. I think this might be really good for them.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Tennessee. I think they're more solid. I'm not saying that Illinois is not, but it's a really close one. Tennessee's only favored by 2.5, so there's that.
Yeah, now the only thing that has factored in is I've seen a lot of teams opt out
Mm-hmm.
in games, but I still think Tennessee has a lot of guys still coming to play for this game. They may have a few opt outs, but we also got to look at that. But I still got Tennessee winning this game, probably by what they have them favored by.
Yeah, I
Um,
would like to say that if you hope nobody's trying to bet on these because you're probably not gonna want to with all these people sitting out.
yeah, it's just like really hard to bet on teams when nobody's playing.
Yeah.
uh, Now I'll go on about something later on in the video. Now you got USC and TCU. This is going to be in Alamo Dome, San Antonio, Texas. Sorry,
Alamo Dome.
Alamo Dome. Sorry.
The Alamo. And then Dome. I'm gonna go with USC. Um, they're they're favored by 6.5, but USC's been a pretty good team this year. If they were just slightly better, they might have made it into the playoffs. They would have had like one less loss, but you know,
Yeah.
stuff happens.
All right, I'm gonna go USC here too. They've actually tried. They tried to get in the playoffs, like Cole was saying, but they just weren't able to get it done towards the end of the season. So yeah, I'm gonna go USC. Now you got Wednesday, December 31st. We have Iowa versus Vanderbilt in Tampa, Florida.
Man, I think it's kind of an unfair game in my opinion. 10-2 versus 8-4, but however they see fit.
Yeah.
I guess so far, I mean, it looks like I'm just picking people that are on the spread.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm just looking at turning teams first, honestly. But yeah, I'm gonna pick Vanderbilt. They're they're favored by 4 to beat Iowa. I would even say I'd favor them more to beat Iowa, honestly. It all
Um.
it all depends on who's sitting out.
Okay, I'm gonna actually go against what this man said over here. After all the crap that Pavia talked after he lost the Heisman, you know, I really hope Vanderbilt, like, I really hope Iowa gets a hold of him and just puts him in the friggin' grass. I'm sorry, I'm not a hater, but when people
But
are
he's
like,
hating.
okay, well, when people are disrespectful
Yeah.
to that, like, award, it's like I have no respect for you. So let's go Iowa. So let's go. Sorry, sorry. I'm trying to release a little. I'm kidding, guys. Now you got Arizona State versus Duke. I already know who this man's gonna pick.
What?
He picks them all the time. He picks
What?
them.
I'm just picking the old Duke favored by 3.
Okay, okay. I will actually go Duke here because every time I picked them picked against them, Cole's always getting them. So maybe I need to start drinking the Kool Aid like he's been drinking.
7 up. 7 up
Seven
right
up.
there.
Okay, okay, cool, cool. Now you got number 18 Michigan versus number 13 Texas, and I think this is going to be a really good matchup. Um, but I really think Texas is going to win this game. I really think they will.
Yeah, I'm also gonna pick Texas. I think they're a better team. They finished really strong at the end of the year. They're favored by 7.5 points. You know,
You're so stupid.
um, but yeah, I just think Texas is more. I mean, I'm not saying Michigan's not, but from what I've seen, Texas finished really strong.
Yeah, and they were a team that I would have considered them being in the playoff too because of the caliber team that they are.
Hmm.
I think they're a really good football team. Now, depending on who's opting out, like, these are coin toss games, guys. Like, you really don't know who's going to win. But, yeah, I'm going to go Texas here. Now, you got number 10, Miami. And these are our playoff games. You got Miami and Ohio State. We'll do a little bit more talking later on about these, so just give me your pick.
Okay, I'm making sure you didn't skip one.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Okay, the one's at 2:30. Nebraska and Utah.
Oh, man. Yeah, we'll go. Yeah, Nebraska and Utah. Thank
I
you.
didn't know if he was gonna. I didn't know if this
Thank
guy was
you.
skipping them or not.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm just reading off the list. I
Hey,
thought he had the list, but
well, apparently not. Apparently, I have
I
not
guess I'm
done that
taking a hold of
either.
this ship.
Thank you, Captain. So I'm gonna go Utah here.
I don't have a boating license, so we're in trouble.
What? Okay.
I don't have a boating license.
Okay. Okay. Now we can get back into the playoff games. Back to where we were. Oh wait, you didn't get to pick yet. Utah or
Gosh,
Nebraska.
these Utah by like they're favored by 14. Of course, they're 10-2, so 75. Why are they going against them? That makes no sense.
I don't know, man. Like I really don't know. Now you got number 10 Miami and Ohio State.
Ohio State is favored by 9.5 points.
I tell you, it's going to be a close game because I think they're both, as of right now, until they can prove otherwise, they're both overrated.
Would you say Miami's overrated even though they beat Texas A&M?
I think Texas A&M was a lot more hype than they were like bite. I'm just saying, I think they were more hype than
There's
anything.
only 3 points though.
But I'm just saying that I think they're a little bit more hype than bite.
Don't be
But
stuttering over here now.
now I will say, if Ohio State beats them by a big number, I will say Ohio State's not overrated. Okay, if
Um,
it's a close game, I say they're overrated.
how I look at it, Ohio State and Indiana, they kind of had like a defensive battle, slugging it out that one earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
And Miami just had a defensive battle, holding Texas A&M to only 3 points, even though Texas A&M kind of threw two interceptions that really screwed themselves out of points. Um, I think it's going to come down to whose offense can do it better, whose
Okay.
offense can make those key plays, go down there and get some points on the board, whether it's field goals or touchdowns. I'm gonna pick Miami just to beat Ohio State though, because I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen them play besides Indiana. I mean, who else?
Okay. My thing is, and I've told a lot of people, is like exactly where you're coming from. Is Ohio State has only a few signature wins, just like Indiana. Indiana and Ohio State are both in the same boat. I get you can't help that you had to play in your conference, and I'm not saying the Big Ten is crap, but there are teams that you should not almost lose to. Like, or, like, you have to be able to beat more than what you play. Because nobody that they actually played, maybe, I think it was like Indiana played like Oregon and Ohio State. Ooh, big
Mm-hmm.
whoop. Those were their hardest games. But now it kind of Indiana reminds me of Alabama back when Nick Saban was like really big, like whenever he was like beating people 50-0, and there was like no like problem for Alabama. So Indiana like may not be overrated, but same thing with Ohio State. They may not be overrated. It's just I don't think they've really had a test this year. And if they can actually play a decent team and actually win, I'll actually become a believer in them. Okay, if they can actually, if Indiana or like Indiana can beat Alabama, I'd be a believer in that. But same thing with Ohio State. If they can like actually beat a opponent and actually do what they need to do, like then they can actually be just as not overrated at that point. You get what I mean? Sorry, it's hard to
Mm-hmm.
explain, but uh, yeah. So I'm gonna go with my gut here. I'm gonna go Ohio State. I really I know I said just a minute ago that they're overrated, but I'm gonna pick them because first of all, I just think Miami's overrated too. I just don't think they're that team. They're not the Miami from back in the day. But same note on that is like if they actually win this game, they're not overrated. Sorry guys. So yeah, Ohio State. Now you got number 5 Oregon versus Texas Tech. Oregon is favored, I know.
Um,
I'm gonna go to the
Oregon's only
Mustache
favored by two
Crew.
and a half points. I would say that's a lot because, and I know people say they put in their second um against James Madison, but they kept the same quarterback in.
Mm-hmm.
No one else threw the ball,
Mm-hmm.
so
So I'm actually gonna go Texas Tech and the Mustache Crew. I really think that they can handle Oregon, and the quack 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 gonna go back home. So who you got?
I'm also going to pick Texas Tech. I'm really excited to see them play. If they
Okay.
come out and actually show up and beat them, they'll probably take a run at the title. I think
Mm-hmm.
probably in the title, but you know, and you never know
You never
nowadays.
know nowadays, but it all up in the air. But these games you can actually kind of bet on because they
Oh yeah,
actually
these
have
playoff
everybody
games.
playing. But
Yeah, the playoff games you can. Yeah.
so now we got Alabama and Indiana.
Well, I haven't. I've been wrong 3 times so far. I haven't picked against them, but I'm not going to start now. I'm going to pick Bama to beat Indian. I think that they're Indiana's favored by 7. But yeah, I'm just going to say I pick Alabama.
Okay, I'm gonna go Alabama here too. Roll Tide. Uh, I didn't get this jacket for nothing. So, yeah. Now you got Ole Miss versus Georgia.
I'm gonna pick Georgia's fix or favored by 6.5. It's barely a touchdown. I'm gonna go with Ole Miss, even though they're without their head coach. But I think Pruitt, or not Pruitt, Pete Golding. I think he can help lead them there to that maybe they take a shot at a national title.
Yep. I'm gonna go Georgia. I
So
think.
I'm doing an opposite.
Huh?
So all like the regular games, I picked all the favored teams, but then all the playoff games, I'm picking all the teams that are not favored.
Okay. So I know you just main thing I know is you don't want Alabama to play Georgia again. If we even get that far. So just I know that SEC title is pretty like daunting, but the fact that we had so many guys out that really played a huge factor in that game, and I think like they said, it's hard to beat somebody twice in a row. And this is kind of that, that's one of those things where it's like could happen. You never know. So yeah, I'm gonna go Georgia here. And now you have Rice versus uh, Texas
Texas
State.
State. I'm gonna pick Texas State to win this one. They're also favored by 13.5, so I guess I'm sticking with my trends again. Apparently.
I'm gonna go Texas
Um,
State too. Sorry, go on.
good. No, I'm good.
Okay. Now we got Navy versus Cincinnati. Navy's actually favored in this game.
Okay, going against the trend. I'm gonna pick Cincinnati to beat Navy.
I'm actually gonna go with you because Cincinnati. I know they've lost like is it like 5 games?
7-5, yeah.
Okay, they've lost 5 games, but they are probably playing in a lot harder conference. So, uh, I think Navy just doesn't really play in a tough conference. But I do like our military. Like I respect them all day. But yeah, Cincinnati just seems like a better team here. I don't even know why they have Navy favored. But I can be wrong. Like you never know. Now you got number 17 Arizona versus SMU. The SM who? Because last year they were all up in the playoffs. Now they ain't even ranked. Like, what happened?
I'm gonna go with the trend, and I'll pick Arizona.
I'm gonna go Arizona here as well. Now you got Wake Forest not at versus Mississippi State. I'm gonna go Mississippi State.
I'm gonna go
SEC
Wake
all the way.
Forest.
Okay. Well, that completes everything.
Is it? Okay.
All right. Now we can talk. And the main things we're going to talk about is playoff games. Okay? So if you want to say anything about a playoff game, it doesn't have to be Alabama, it doesn't have to it can be whoever you want.
I think we covered it. Miami. I think Ohio State's a little overrated.
And I saved the best for last because that's why I went ahead and went through it real fast. Because I didn't want to like bore people with my Alabama talk.
I don't want to get too deep into it. The only thing I'd have to say about that is that
LT
people
overtook
want to
that game.
say that, you know, I know there's a lot of Ohio State Indian fans, you're going to be looking at it and be like, okay,
We
but they
won.
won all their games, in Indiana, and Ohio State only lost to Indiana, but they won. They won all their games. It's like, okay, you take Alabama, you put in that situation, they won all their games. You're like, but who did they play? It's immediately like, but who did they play? It's like, okay, so you won all your games, but who did you play? And then you look at Alabama's schedule, 4 like top 16 teams in a row and beat all of them. But then we just had like injuries that kind of stacked up, and then we ended up losing with those injuries stacking up. So,
Hmm.
like, yeah, like
What do you expect? Do you
it's
expect
just,
the grass to always be green?
yeah. I mean, like this isn't like mid 2000s where every team's stacked with like 5 stars, first and second and third string, especially like SEC talent. No, this is all spread out. Once your starter gets hurt, very rare. Like Pierre on defense when we're 42, he was a backup. Dude's a beast. That's lucky. We've had, I mean, there's seen many teams that had their key players or a kind of key player go out, and that position's just murdered all game. So again, Indiana is the one who is all proof, in my opinion. Alabama got to the playoffs. People said they shouldn't have been there. They won their first game. You know what? You stuck your foot in. You knocked someone out in that
Yeah.
door. You're in. You did what you had to do, and now it'd be nice to see them go all the way as an Alabama fan. But realistically, if they don't win, I'm also an Indiana fan by chance. So um, I think it's up to Indiana to prove everybody wrong. It's not Alabama, it's Indiana, in my opinion.
Yeah. So
Yep,
I
that's all I have to
actually
say.
agree with you on that, and like I've been telling people for the longest time, though, I love Alabama football and everything. I'm glad we won against Oklahoma. Hope we take it all the way. But Indiana, like I want them to prove to me that they're actually that good. It's like if they can beat Alabama, like kudos to them. And they've never really seen a national title, so I think that would be really good for their program if they actually went and won. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of those realistic fans that actually seems to like care about our opponent. I'm not saying like say I'm a fan of them, but I see things that I love about teams and the cultures and like the attitudes of the players and all that, where they believe in themselves enough that they can win a game. Okay, that they can win,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what it takes to win games is the belief that you can do something. And thing is, but here's my point though, is you can't doubt teams like Alabama either just because you don't like them. It's like I get Alabama's Alabama, and like everybody got tired of hearing, oh well, Alabama won another national title, like whatever. They got tired of hearing all that, and I get it. So they started adding NIL and all this other crap, and then try to get rid of a team. But I'm also looking at other teams around the country, and Indiana. Like I know I just said they were overrated. I said until further notice. Okay, if they go and they beat Alabama, I think that they're a force to be reckoned with. And I think Ohio State and Indiana, like that would make me look more at Ohio State that, hey, maybe Ohio State really is that good. Like maybe really they are that good. But until one of these teams show themselves to me, I'm not going to say that, oh, yeah, I can look at that team and say that they're number one and they're number two. It's like I can't look at them right now and say that because most of the people that they played all played like crap all year. Like Penn State almost beat Indiana in Indiana. And this is a Penn State team that got beat. I mean, their doors blown off by UCLA with no coach. And UCLA had one of the worst records that I could have even imagined for Penn State to even almost, well, actually lose to. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, when I go back and I look at, and I know that was then and all this other crap, but, we have to look at, what has happened in the season. They're like, oh, you want to look at this? It's like, well, everybody wanted to look at the Florida State Alabama game. It's like, why can't we look back at other games, like what other people did? It's like, I get, you know, Alabama hasn't always been perfect this year. Indiana hasn't always been, well, they've actually been more perfect than anybody, but you know what I mean. But there's teams out there that have their blemishes, man. And like I get haters are gonna hate, and people like you can't change how people feel. And like I could sit here till I'm blue in the face telling people, "Oh, y'all should like be better fans or whatever." But there's people out there like that, and there's nothing I can do about it. But I really hate that sometimes we get too deep into you know
Hmm.
as fans, like because there's a difference in a fan and a fanatic.
Yeah.
Fanatics are just absolutely correct. Which fan is actually short for fanatic. Okay, but
Yeah.
the point is, it's like there has to be a fine line between being a fan and being respectful and being honest, and a lot of that has been obscured in football today, especially by fan bases. And it's not even the players, like it's not even the teams. It's more of fans, man. It's like
Yeah.
y'all. It's like we got to get better about like understanding the game a little bit. And I'm not no genius behind the football. Like I'm not like no mastermind. I'm not Nick Saban. I'm not this you know offensive defensive mind. But I sit back and I watch stuff. It's like I watch other teams and like I love my Alabama football. Like I love them. Like I die hard Alabama fan. Like I love them. Like roll tide, baby. But you know there is a time though where I see the way Alabama players respond when they lose. They don't get mad. They don't cry. They don't throw temper tantrums. They don't do anything like that. They go over to the other team, they shake their hand, and they get on about their daggum business. It's like that's good sportsmanship. It's like, and that's what has kind of gone away too. It's like we all got to have fun with it. That's all it was made for, was to be fun. But that's really all I have to say, guys. Um, Sorry if I kept rambling on, but I really appreciate y'all for listening and everything because it really means a lot to me. So, and probably to the Tater if he was here. You got anything else to say? All right. Hey, thank y'all for watching. Really appreciate you and everything y'all do. Please leave a comment, like, subscribe, and see y'all in the next video, guys.